Another beautiful morning. Temperature's supposed to be a high of 94 today. We've enjoyed the last few days in the 80s. It's been awesome. I've started doing this action cam every morning on my way to work. More of like, instead of motovlogging so much as for the just in cases, because there's a lot of traffic at the time I'm going to work when it's morning time. And if something were to happen, I'd like to have it on camera. Because on my V-Rod, when I got hit, if I would have had video footage, I probably would have sued, possibly. Jacked my bike up, their insurance covered, I got injured, but it wasn't like surgery and stitches and bone and skin grafts. It was just a really, really severe grade 3 ankle sprain separation when it smashed me between the bike and the car. My wife thinks that I should have done something to protect myself, like a lawsuit or something, because now when I finally do get older and my ankle's giving me problems, I'm going to be in trouble. We're going to take this route this morning because with the sunlight in people's eyes, I don't really want to be over by the school because they're not thinking clearly and they're going too fast. They're in a hurry, their kid's late for school, and they're just driving like idiots. Yesterday's ride was about 200 miles. It was awesome. We went up through Zion Canyon, through the tunnel. Before that, we stopped at Oscar's in Springdale and had breakfast. Good day. Started out with 6 bikes, ended with 4. Good times. A little disappointed in the life of the battery on these action cams. They suck. I'm guessing the more experienced motovloggers have some kind of a external bigger battery pack or something, but I don't understand how you have it attached and powered through your protection case, because it doesn't give you a port for that, obviously, because they're meant to be waterproof, so there must be other cases or something. I'll have to figure that one out, because I do not like being limited to that little amount of video time. I'd rather just push record, let it go the whole time, and then edit it in post. Any of the stuff that was boring, useless, or bad footage. Little Mazda RX-8s are kind of cool. The rotary motor was a really cool idea, and I'm glad they brought it back. I haven't heard a lot on dependability or if they're any good, but I like the idea of nearly unlimited RPMs. Rev the piss out of that thing. That'd be sweet with the turbo. For this fine morning on my way to work. It's just cool enough to need a hoodie and a club vest. I don't have my chaps on, but if I did, I'd be more comfortable. Wish Utah would change some of their laws so that we could lane split, because it'd be nice to not be a sitting duck every time you come to a stoplight and just be waiting to be a sandwich in between two 5,000 plus pound vehicles, or even if there's a car, it doesn't matter, they're just going to smash it. It'd be nice to be able to have that gap to work up in between, move to the front, and then leave the pack behind you, and always have that cushion of safety. My anxiety always goes through the roof when I come to a stoplight. I don't know if these people are paying attention. In fact, I know they're not. So it sure would be nice, but I lane split a couple times on my SV here in Utah and got pulled over for it. Blamed it on the fact that I had just come from California and thought it was legal, even though I knew better. The cop let me off with a warning, but said, ignorance is not an excuse for law breaking. I didn't say anything, because it's true, but I sure wish they'd get their stuff together so we could have lane splitting, because it'd be nice to not be between a rock and a hard place right here. Notice a lot of stuff goes on while you're riding a motorcycle. You got blinker changes, you got up and down shifts, you got the brakes and the clutch and the throttle, and most of the time all 5 of those things culminate at the same time at the most inopportune time, like back there at that intersection, going through a yellow arrow so that you don't get stopped in a position where you could get taken out in the intersection from any direction. I'd rather blast through the yellow arrow than mess with being sitting out there in the middle of traffic where people got sunlight in their eyes and they come to a sliding halt and get pinballed off of the guy they ran into, and they take you out in the meantime. So it's kind of interesting how many things are happening simultaneously. At first, if you're just starting riding, I highly suggest riding on the dirt. It'll give you a feel for what it's like when the front end starts to wash out. It'll give you a feel for what it's like if the back tire locks up, because you're in the dirt and that happens a lot. Give you a feel for what the bike does when it is sliding. I don't think anyone should be able to ride on the street without first having ridden on the dirt for, I don't know, maybe a certain number of hours, or maybe on a certain course. Just like when you take the driving test for the motorcycle, you have to do it on this stupid course that I think is absolute garbage. What a waste of a skills test. It doesn't prepare you at all for riding on the street. And usually it's subjective to whichever DMV D-bag you got, whether or not you were going fast enough, and if you hit the brakes soon enough, and if you got stopped in time. And it's like, they don't know how fast you're going. When I took my test, I did it on an XR650L. The guy made me do the 30 to 0 test like 6 times because he didn't think I was going 30. By the time I finally passed it, I was going almost 50, and it finally got it to stop from 50 to 0 without locking up the back tire. But it was because he didn't think I was going fast enough to do the tests. So anyway, that's my mini rant. DMV motorcycle skills test is bullshit. Have a nice day. I'm gonna sell some cars.